There are two main ways that I find it best to roll my paper. You could come up with a third option for sure. I'm not limiting to two, but one way I find is if you kind of easily, like carefully, not easily, pinch the close together and then just kind of start rolling this up as you go through it. This orange one I've made shorter so you can kind of like flip it through your fingers and just keep going like this. Once you find that rhythm, it does tend to get quicker. So don't give up too soon on one type of method. And then as I get to the end, I just get my glue or white glue, whichever one we have available, and let's close it up. This is my center of my flower, so I want it to be closed fully. The other method that I find helpful is to use a pencil and to start it rolling over top one another. The tricky one with this is to keep it tight as you pinch the pencil. This one can go quickly, but again, like I've done this a lot, so don't let this to kind of deter you to be like, it's not that easy. I get it. It's not as easy as it necessarily looks. A lot of times people tend to go off, and that will cause a lot more frustration. You do want to try and keep it as much as possible over top of one another. Now, that said, this one's kind of all wonky all over the place. I might have to start this one over, and that's fine. So when I pull it off, slide it off the pencil, I find it that I have to push it together. And you'll see it's not pushing together, so that means that one did not work. So I'm going to start that back over again, just unravel and try it one more time. I think my start was a little rough, so there we go. This one's feeling better already. So now I can just roll it on top. I am keeping my fingers all taut. If this hand's not on directly on the string, then not the string, paper, then this hand, or this finger is really pressing it so it stays in one place as much as possible and goes over top itself. All right, I think that one's better. Sure, I'll roll this off. All right, now pinch it together so it's one hole loose, and then I can think about, do I want my paper to be bigger than that hole, which I do. So I'm gonna very carefully release my fingers or make them wider and watch what happens. Okay, so make it as big as you want, and then glue it together. And since these are becoming my flower petals, I will pinch it shut. I could make a teardrop by pinching one side. I could make it completely flat, like a circular, ovular diamond. I don't know. How would you guys call that? I don't know, pointy oval. And then I'll start to form my flower around my center. Something to practice as you get better at it. You can start experimenting. How can you unravel it? By letting it go in different ways. So let's see if this one does something. I'm going to loosen it, but I'm going to try and pinch it a little bit as I go, and then unravel it just a little bit inside. So that way my pinch is sideways from the circle in center. So as you play around with it, you can make it spread apart in the center a little more. I'm going to pinch both just carefully. Try to get, and that kind of has a cool like effect there, right? Looks kind of like an eye. Ooh. Anyway, try different ways. As you can see, I've got my flower started to put together. The more I practice it, the faster I get at it.
Then I can just keep rolling and rolling.
you'll see that I have mapped out a little bit, but clearly after I made my design, it's gonna be a bit bigger than I was originally thinking. Okay. Now you do not need to do flowers by any means. Another option literally could be, and you'll see here on my lines, see, as you go, you change it up, make it more how you like it. I want to show one more way that shows kind of a creative shape, and that's this one. Other people in the past have asked me how to do that. And again, guys, just experiment with how to, but basically for that one, I used a regular. So I pinched it like this, but then before I pinch too tight, I kind of push them together, and that creates that kind of star look that you can get there. So another option, again, create your own ways. There's like unlimited amounts, I'm sure, but do it, explore, experiment, create. Yeah, all of that. Adios. Well, I guess it's hola again because I forgot one other way that you could do it. So if you have made yours really loose and you're like, ah, no, that's too loose, I don't want it that loose, you could always put your fingers on it like this and grab the tail end and just kind of lightly tug. Don't tug too hard because then you're going to rip the paper. You don't want to do that. But tug until it can't really tug anymore, and then you'll see that it's all tight again. And then just roll up with your fingers one last time until it is the tightness that you want it. You finish it up. But I personally want it to be a little bit looser so you can see it and it doesn't just look like a roll of paper. So I'm gonna let it loose, and I want it to show its full potential to fill in some larger space area. Okay, so trying for that. But I think my video just cut out entirely. Anyway, so I put a little bit of pop of white to help the other colors stand out. I don't know if I really like this yet because it kind of looks like moons and suns, but you know, that's kind of cool too. I might rearrange my patterns to find something new that I could possibly do. We'll see, but I'm working on it. So, create. Go, go, go. Suddenly reminding me of The Starry Night by Van Gogh. Maybe that's just the shapes, but this could also be a chaotic design if you come up with all different ways to create your quills and to just come out with a way to kind of put them all creatively. Guys, that could work too. There doesn't have to be a specific pattern. I don't know. The world's your canvas. Anything's possible. Just, you know, make it beautiful in your own eyes and in other eyes too, because you've showed craftsmanship. That's really what makes it beautiful. It's the craftsmanship, the effort, all of that. Creativity. So go. Be creative.